Modern cities sell us an illusion. Glass towers reflect the sky, highways pulse with headlights, digital screens glow through the night. Everything looks clean, new, and constantly advancing. But this image is a lie of convenience, because no city on Earth is truly modern. Every great city is a graveyard of older worlds, layered one on top of another, buried not by accident, but by necessity. Progress didn't erase history. It buried it alive. Beneath the streets we walk every day lie forgotten roads, collapsed houses, sealed tunnels, lost rivers, and millions of untold human stories. Some were buried by disasters, others by war. Many were deliberately covered up, because remembering them was inconvenient. These hidden histories aren't myths. They exist right now, beneath the concrete, beneath the subway tracks, beneath your feet. Take Paris, for example. City of Light hides one of the darkest underground landscapes on Earth. When tourists admire the boulevards designed by Baron Haussmann, they don't realize those wide streets were built partly to control rebellion and partly to cover up a sanitation nightmare. By the 18th century, Paris was choking on its own dead. Cemeteries overflowed. Bodies decomposed so close to homes that walls collapsed under the pressure of human remains. Disease spread through the air itself. The solution wasn't to honor the dead. It was to hide them. Night after night, wagons filled with corpses rolled through the city. Priests whispered prayers as bones were dumped into abandoned limestone quarries beneath Paris. Skulls were stacked. Femurs were arranged like bricks. What emerged wasn't just a burial ground. It was an underground city of death, stretching farther than most people realize. Today, only a small section of the catacombs is open to the public. The rest remains illegal, uncharted, and dangerous. Yet explorers known as cataphiles still slip inside, navigating miles of tunnels filled with bones, graffiti, underground rooms, and hidden histories the city prefers to forget. And the catacombs are only one layer. Beneath Paris lie Roman baths, ancient streets, medieval cellars, forgotten prisons, and sealed-off sewer systems that once carried waste directly into rivers. Every time a new metro line is built, archaeologists race against construction crews to save fragments of the past before they're reburied forever. London tells a similar story, but darker in many ways. London isn't one city, it's a vertical timeline. Roman London sits beneath medieval London, which lies beneath Victorian London, which now supports a modern global capital. Beneath office towers and luxury apartments lie Roman mosaics, temples, and roads still bearing wagon ruts carved nearly 2,000 years ago. But London's most haunting hidden features are its rivers. Once open and alive, many were slowly buried as the city expanded. The River Fleet, once wide enough for boats, now flows through brick tunnels beneath the streets. The Tyburn, the Westburn, the Walbrook each still moves in darkness, shaping the city from below. Sometimes their presence is felt through strange flooding, damp basements, or unexplained structural shifts. These rivers remember where they once flowed, even if the city doesn't. Then there are the plague pits. During outbreaks of the Black Death, bodies were buried quickly and without ceremony. Entire neighborhoods were emptied. Thousands were dumped into mass graves beneath what are now parks, buildings, and train stations. Construction workers still uncover skeletons with teeth intact. Frozen in the moment, disease tore through medieval London. The city learned to build upward not just for space, but to forget. New York City likes to believe it invented itself, skyscraper capital, the city that never sleeps. But long before steel and concrete, Manhattan was a living landscape of forests, hills, wetlands, and streams. The Lenape people lived here for centuries before European settlers arrived. As the city grew, hills were flattened, valleys were filled, and rivers were forced underground. Yet those natural systems still exist, trapped in pipes and tunnels beneath asphalt. Even more unsettling is New York's abandoned subway infrastructure. Dozens of stations were sealed off over time, some because they were too close together, others because crime, cost, or urban redesign made them obsolete. Some of these stations were once architectural masterpieces, filled with ornate tilework, chandeliers, and grand arches. Now they sit untouched, lights flickering occasionally as trains rush past without stopping. Ads from the early 1900s still cling to the walls, promising products that no longer exist. These ghost stations are time capsules, sealed beneath millions of daily commuters who never know they're there. Beneath Lower Manhattan lies another buried truth. In the 1990s, construction uncovered an enormous African burial ground containing the remains of enslaved Africans. For centuries, their existence had been erased by development. These were the people who helped build the city, forced laborers, whose bodies were covered over by progress. Their rediscovery forced New York to confront a history it had literally paved over. Rome is often praised for preserving its ancient ruins, but even Rome hides more than it reveals. Modern Rome floats above an ancient city like a shell. Entire forums, markets, and neighborhoods lie meters below street level. Some can only be accessed through basements or underground passageways. One building alone, the Basilica of San Clemente Cons, nearly 2,000 years of continuous history stacked vertically. You walk down from a medieval church into an early Christian basilica, then further into a Roman temple, and finally into the foundations of ancient homes. Each level tells a story of conquest, collapse, and reinvention. Rome didn't just survive history, it absorbed it. Beneath the Colosseum lies the Hypogeum, a network of tunnels. Elevators and cages where gladiators and animals waited in darkness before being lifted into sunlight and slaughter. Spectators above saw drama. Below was terror, blood, and machinery powered by enslaved labor. The roar of the crowd masked the suffering beneath their feet. Istanbul may be the ultimate buried city. Once Byzantium, then Constantinople, now Istanbul, it has been conquered, renamed, and rebuilt countless times. Beneath its streets lies a vast underground infrastructure of cisterns, massive reservoirs built to store water during sieges. The most famous, the Basilica Cistern, feels more like a drowned palace than a utility structure. Hundreds of columns rise from shallow water. Some are recycled from ancient temples. To feature Medusa heads turned sideways and upside down, their purpose still unknown. Beyond the cisterns are secret tunnels connecting palaces, churches, and fortresses. Emperors once used these passageways to move unseen or escape during attacks. Many remain unexplored, sealed off after centuries of neglect. The city above pulses with life, while the shadows below preserve imperial paranoia and survival. Tokyo's hidden history is quieter, but just as deep. Fires, earthquakes, and bombings destroyed large parts of the city repeatedly. Instead of clearing everything, post-war reconstruction often built directly over rubble. Beneath Tokyo are Edo-era canals, shrines, and streets entombed by urgency. In some neighborhoods, buildings sit atop layers of collapsed structures dating back hundreds of years. Tokyo also hides one of the largest underground flood prevention systems on Earth. Giant cylindrical shafts drop water into enormous tunnels supported by pillars so massive they resemble an underground cathedral. This structure exists because the city has always fought water first with canals, now with subterranean megastructures. The solution to nature wasn't above ground, it was beneath it. Mexico City is perhaps the most dramatic example of a city built on buried power. It stands directly atop Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital. When Spanish conquerors arrived, they dismantled temples and used the stones to build churches and government buildings. Rather than erasing the Aztec city, they compressed it beneath colonial rule. The ground beneath Mexico City is unstable because it was once a lake. As water was drained, the soil softened. Buildings sink, crack, and tilt, revealing ancient ruins as they descend. Archaeologists regularly uncover pyramids beneath modern structures. The past refuses to stay hidden. It rises as the city sinks. Even cities that seem young hide unsettling truths. Las Vegas, a symbol of excess and reinvention, has an unseen population living beneath it. Storm drains and flood tunnels beneath the strip house hundreds of people. While tourists gamble above, entire communities survive below, unseen and unsupported. These tunnels were never meant to be homes, yet they've become shelters for those erased by the city's illusion of wealth. Beijing hides its own underground legacy. Beneath its wide avenues lie ancient foundations, imperial tunnels, and massive Cold War bunkers built to protect leadership during nuclear war. These underground cities were designed to function independently, complete with schools, hospitals, and theaters. Some remain sealed, others repurposed, but all remind us how fear shapes architecture beneath the surface. What ties all these cities together isn't architecture, it's memory. Cities are living organisms. When they're wounded by war, disease, disaster, or overpopulation, they don't heal cleanly. They scar. And those scars are buried layer by layer, forming a physical record of survival. Every modern skyline is supported by centuries of forgotten lives. Streets cover cemeteries. Offices stand on ruins. Subway tunnels cut through ancient neighborhoods. The past isn't gone. It's compressed beneath us, waiting for excavation or collapse to reveal it again. The next time you walk through a city, remember this. You are never on the ground floor of history. You are standing on a stack of civilizations, each believing it was the final version. Each was wrong. Because cities don't move forward. They pile up. And beneath the modern world, the old one is still breathing.